is a way that we can regulate ongoing inflammation and unhealthy aging process. I would start by talking to you about inflammation. Inflammation is the body's response to an attack. Acute inflammation will get red, swollen, and painful. So anything that causes your body to be red or swollen or painful is inflammation. The idea is to have an effective immune system that can be mobilized to attack the problem. Inflammation would affect the cells, our cellular metabolism, and our survival response. Our ability to respond efficiently to inflammation shows how healthy and well our body is. Inflammation can cause the muscle to harden and make the tissue become non-functioning, which will turn the organ into a rigid organ, like fibrotic heart, liver, or kidney disease. Inflammation is not a cause. It's not a cause, it's a response. The survival response is the cause. Our body's ability to respond to inflammation is the cause of the problem or stress. We know vitamin C to be ascorbic acid, but there are two types of vitamin C. We know that ascorbic acid helps us fight stress by building our adrenals, stress hormones. It is also an antioxidant that prevents oxidative stress or damage and helps us prevent chronic disease and lowers the perception of stress. Vitamin C is a cortisol modulator. Ascorbic acid is key to our immune system and promotes optimal health versus just waiting for disease to strike. However, we should not ignore perhaps an even stronger key for resilience and immune function, which is the other vitamin C. I'm talking about social connection. It is the idea that when we are under stress, our oxytocin, which is our happy hormone receptors, are affected and we produce less oxytocin. We are down-regulating the brain's ability to produce oxytocin. It's also known as the love hormone, the connection, trust, and bonding hormone. It increases our pain tolerance. It lowers anxiety. When we are socially isolated, it impacts us on a whole different spectrum. You'll be surprised because of the biology of social isolation. There's an impact of post-stroke recovery, cancer, resistance to upper respiratory infection, like in COVID, the risk of dying for men who have coronary heart disease risk, and for women who have a fall, the risk of dementia. When this happens and there's social isolation, the person dies quicker or they're not able to survive it. We can't ignore the impact of connection for modulating stress response and our immune response, even antibacterial, antifungal, and antioxidant. Ensure your family are not socially isolated. It's very important. There was a study done over 10 years ago of 148 independent studies looking at well-known risk factors that influence mortality. So they looked at alcohol, smoking, obesity, poor exercise, blood pressure, flu shots, and social connection. You'll be surprised to know that social connection was found to impact our mortality the most. It is more biologically potent than what we eat, how much we exercise, and what you're addicted to. It's not that these things are not important. They are very important, but we can't lose sight of what may be more impactful. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just care more for the things that matter most in your life. Your career impact you want to have, the impact you want to have in the world. These questions will allow you become more intentional and impactful, which is bio-individual for everyone. So what will be impactful for me will be different from what will be impactful for you. Once you identify what is important to you, you tend to focus on those things, and those things tend to bring you joy. Find what connection means to you, even if you're an introvert or an extrovert like myself. So I find that reading, having a bath in the night or a shower is something that is very meaningful to me, and nothing takes it away from me. Sleep is very important to me, okay? Because with sleep, I am able to function and I'm able to be at my best for the people who are around me. It doesn't have to be a big thing. You don't have to go partying to have social connection. It can be anything. It can be a reading group. It can be a gardening club. It can be anything that brings you joy. It can be meeting your friends virtually. A few friends. It doesn't have to be a lot of people. It could be, like I said, you could meet virtually or physically. Always talk about social context with your patient, especially if you're someone who's in the healthcare system. Trying to prescribe a social well-being prescription should just be as important as the medication you provide or you prescribe. Your doctors or your healthcare practitioner should be asking you questions about your social well-being. It's not just about writing medication. You want to also look for ways of ensuring that your social lifestyle is good, that you have a good relationship with your partner, your children, your friends, your work colleagues, your siblings. When there's a problem in this aspect, it's almost like someone who has a partner who's not supportive. If that partner becomes ill, their chances of survival is less than that of someone who has a very supportive partner. Another thing I want to suggest is something called adaptogens. Now, adaptogens strengthen the whole person. It strengthens you from within. Adaptogens are non-specific endocrine regulating, immune modulating effects of certain plants that help humans maintain what they feel their optimal balance. It's when we're faced with physical and emotional stress. So these plants help us to become a whole person. They help regulate our immune and endocrine system, okay? When we're faced with physical and emotional stress, they help us adapt with our environment in and around us. Now, some of these adaptogens include something called ashwagandha. Some of you might know it. Rhodiola. I always advise people to mix their rhodiola with ginger. Holy basil is another one, and ginseng. These things helps to calm you down. Magnesium is another thing that helps people who are constipated or people who are having trouble calming down and sleeping at night. My favorite is usually magnesium glycinate. And if you're experiencing constipation, magnesium citrate might be best for you. Like I said, having a shower in the evening or a bath is very relaxing and can help you calm down. You don't want to be exercising at nighttime, like 3 hours before bedtime. No, you're going to exercise increases your stress level. So in the evening, you want to be winding down instead of stressing yourself more. So it will be counterproductive to exercise in the evening. And it's also not advisable to exercise once you wake up in the morning because your stress level is very high at that point. You want to wait till maybe midday or mid-morning before you exercise. Stress is a killer. You must find ways to manage it. Sleep, exercise are ways of managing your stress. The kind of food that you eat will help reduce the level of stress that your body is going through. Try these things and see how you fare. And at night, anyway, when I come to talking about sleep, I'll talk about what I was about to say. But stress is something that we cannot avoid, like I said. We only have to find ways of managing it. And you have to manage it in such a way that your being compassionate towards yourself. Your aim is to stay sane and happy. Okay? Whatever you cannot deal with, you leave it. You leave it, or it's not like you're leaving it and never going back to it. You leave it until you're mentally and physically ready to face that stress. I hope this